Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an Achilles. It's a tier 6 British tank destroyer, a turreted one at that. It's located on the southwest border of Arctic region, and this one is under the command of Wazwulf of REBRN. Now basically this is an M10 that's been brought by the British and modified to fit the 17-pounder anti-tank gun. Game on! Yes, basically the British took an M10 tank destroyer, took out the 3-inch gun that it came with and fitted the 17-pounder instead. It's the high velocity 76.2mm anti-tank gun, which was well capable of knocking out Tiger tanks. Basically, it is an M10 under the skin, but just that gun is the different piece that actually makes this much more effective, because the standard M10 wasn't capable of taking out a Tiger tank, but the tank with the 17-pounder was. Okay, gets a first hit on the Skoda T25, misses with his second shot. Now the 17-pounder is capable of 150 alpha, penetrating 171mm with standard ammo, and with the premium rounds it's capable of 239mm of pen. So it'll go through most armour at tier 6. This is a tier 6 game with only tier 6 tanks, and after all those shots fired, he only got one pen on that last one. I think he's moving the gun around too much, and it's getting a bit too much dispersion. When it's firing in a straight line, this gun is incredibly accurate. Okay, the British actually bought 1,600 M10s, 1,600 of them, and they built 1,100 of them by the end of the war. Oh, took one round from the T-52's 57mm, and he bounced one round as well, and the ram kill goes to the Super Chappie. By D-Day, they'd actually managed to convert 124 M10s into the Achilles. And of course they needed those because the British armoured force did come under attack by many enemy tanks, especially the Panther and the Tiger during the early stages of Overlord. Well, he just got hit by the M44, so he can't stay in that position. He has to move away, and he's decided to go out a bit more of an open position. And now he fired just as he locked on, and that shell was dispersed to the left. But he's going after the OI and the RL44. Easy pen on both of these tanks because, in fact, he's using the premium rounds. He probably doesn't need to. Yeah, that OI was looking in this direction, misses us. He didn't get that one through, but he should get most of them. Yep, gets a nice pen there. Just chopping away at the hit points. Ooh, Jagdpanzer 4 is out in the open on the right. I don't know if he's spotted that yet, but he goes through the boobies on the OI. Oh, he's seen it now. Now, he should be using standard ammunition, but he's using up all his premium here. It's going to cost him at the end of the game. Going for the RL. Nice. Knocked his tracks off, and it went through the body because, yes, there's a part of the vehicle there where you can actually hit the hitbox. Trying to get the side of the turret. Yep, it's accurate enough to do that. And he's just carving this ARL-44 away. He's already picked up enough hit points to get 20% of the enemy hit pool, which means he might have a high caliber. Now this gun does have good DPM, good penetration, good shell velocity, superb accuracy, and the vehicle has decent mobility. It's got a 48 km/h top speed. Good view range as well, 370 meters view range. The only thing that's bad about it is it's got a very slow turret traverse, a fairly low alpha damage, 150, that's still fairly good. Poor gun depression, it's only 5 degrees of gun depression, absolutely terrible that. Thin armour, yeah, the armour's, well, anything that hits this vehicle is more than likely going to go straight through. The thickest armour is on the front of the turret, and it's only 57.2mm. Oh, another cheeky shot on the KV2 turret, just as he went through the gap there. You know, he held it on his aim steady. Done the same, and he got the kill this time. So that's 3 kills now for Wazwulf. And he wants the last two. He wants these two. The OI, he could take them out. Gets one into the OI. Oh, look at his teammates are greedy to get in there and get the kills. They want the kills instead. So he's trying to creep up on these guys and get shots on them before his teammates take the kills away from him. Okay, there you go. Oh, missed it with that one. And they're both firing in this direction. And he can't get the shot. Now the ARL's gone down, taken out by the VK3601H. Jagdpanzer IV's gone down. Oh, the OI just went down to the T150, and there's only two enemies left. They're Arty, which is an FE304, and they're Achilles. And the Achilles just went down, which means now it's just the Bert that's left, and he's being torn to shreds. So it looks like, yes, that's it, the game's over, but it's a really good victory for Wazwulf. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Wazwulf in the Achilles. It's not the first time he's had an ace tanker, had them before, so he's practiced in this vehicle. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 5 exactly. He did get the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall, and a win rate of 8,136, which is super unicum and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage in that game turned out to be 2,980 hit points, and Wazwulf was the only one to get over 2,000 hit points. In fact, he got very close to getting 3,000 hit points of damage, with the next highest scorer being the VK3601H, who kill-stealed away that ARL-44. He got 1,358 after Wazwulf did all the work to strip him of all of his hit points. And the third highest damage went to the Baguette Panther with 1,321. When it came to kills, the Super Chaffee managed 4 in that one, so he got the highest. 3 kills went to Wazwulf, 2 kills went to the VK3601H and our Hummel, and the rest I've got 1 or nothing. And on the enemy team, only 4 tanks actually managed to get a kill, and only a single one at that. When it came to base XP, Wazwulf got that one, so he's got the top in 2 columns. 1,190 base experience points. He's the only player to get over 1,000, with the Super Chaffee getting 971 and the VK3601H getting 827. He fired 32 rounds. Now, this tank destroyer carries 60 rounds of ammunition in total, so he'd only just got over half his ammo, but he did spend rather a lot on premium rounds in that game. 22 direct hits on the enemy, 20 penetrations, 2,980 hit points of damage, of which 2,571 were done at more than 300 meters. So you can see most of the damage was done at long range. And the reason you do that in an Achilles is because it doesn't have any armor. If you get too close to the enemy, they see you, and then they shoot at you, and then you end up losing using your life in the game. He did receive 2 hits in the game. One was a penetration, one non-penetration. Both of those came from the T52. And he also got 1 hit by way of splash damage because the M44 worked out which bush he was in and fired around at it. He blocked damage of 85 hit points in total. Damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3 of them. And he actually made a loss from this game of 10,680 credits. And the reason for that was the premium ammo. Yes, look at that. Huge cost of premium ammo. He did well on the actual credits that he earned, but those APCR rounds, they're very, very expensive, and he was blasting away with them on the heavy tanks. He might have been able to get away with just firing standard rounds and still penetrated them, but there you go. He's actually suffered a loss, but he got a good result. 8,925 experience points as well because he completed a mission during the game. Well, this is not the only tank destroyer game that Wazwulf sent in. He sent in another one, so let's have a look at that one. And in this game, Wazwulf's in the Hellcat. Yes, the M18 Hellcat, the Tier 6 American turreted tank destroyer. Now, he's got the 90mm gun. How do I know that? Well, he's got the muzzle brake at the end of the barrel, and that means it must be the 90mm because the others don't have it. In fact, the Hellcat, well, never really had a 90mm gun, so it's a bit of fiction. They only had 76mm guns, but the 90mm gun is capable of 240 alpha, 160mm of pen with standard ammo, and with the premium rounds, 243mm of pen. Okay, well, he's doing a very good job to get as fast as he can down to this end of the map. This tank destroyer is capable of doing 72 kilometers an hour. It's the fastest tracked vehicle in World War II. just spotted an enemy tank making its way into the field. It's an AMX ELC, but he's positioned himself in such a way to stop the enemy from getting down this corner of the map. Got a P-43 on the way in, but he's in the tree line and he's using the bush mechanic to his advantage. And as soon as that P-43 gets within range, he will start pumping ammo into him. He's using the standard AP for the moment because that's all he needs. Just needs to get holes in that guy. He's fairly close, but he's behind the buildings at the moment. Now he's got a solution. And he gets a hit. Oh, it's a T-78 he's hit instead. T-78 can't see him, but he'll probably guess where we are. And another hit, a high roll, 247. First one was a low roll. Goes for the P-43. Didn't get a hit for the first one, but the P-43 goes down. And now he just needs to kill this T-78 who's, well, he's a long way away. And that means we've got this corner of the map. And that gives us a superior advantage to the enemy, because we can now start moving up on them and putting pressure on them. Force that AMX ELC to pull back. Now, as I said, this was the fastest track vehicle in the world in World War II. Built by General Motors. And in fact, it was their Buick division that actually was making the Hellcat. And they were the ones who actually gave it the name Hellcat. They started development work in 1942. By 1943, April 1943, they built the first prototype. Oh, lovely shot! Killed the T-78. Now, between July of 1943, October of 1944, they built 2,507 of these. And although they weren't the most liked tank destroyer by the crews, they were particularly effective. And you saw he just took out the M10 RBFM on the enemy team. One of the reasons why they were effective was because the design meant that the crews could just pull the engine out the back. It was on the tray. All they had to do was disconnect it from the drive and they could pull it out the back and service it. And that meant this vehicle was ready and able to do that battle most of the time. And you can see that VK3001H, oh, he does put one in our direction because we've got very thin armour. But he's out the game. Now, it wasn't him who got the kill. The kill went to hit the gorilla on his team, which is actually his platoon mate. And now, look at this. He's threatening the enemy cap area, whilst the enemy tanks, well, he's just going to try and pick them off one by one. Okay, AT2. Went straight over the front deck. Come on. You need to get it in the engine bay if you can. Well, he didn't get it in the engine bay, but he definitely penetrated him. But a low roll, 216. Now he can go for the engine bay. Oh, it's turned on towards us. But he gets it out anyway. Now, there's two enemy RTs. One of them's a Fifi, the other one's a Hummel. It's a tier 6 game with tier 5 tanks in it. Found the Hummel. There he is, backing up. Puts one into him. Still using the standard ammo. Takes him round from the T-52. Gonna probably shoot on the move. Oh, we missed it! And the T-52 is still trying to put rounds into us. Go for the Hummel. Take him out. That's it. Now, he just needs to be careful with that T-52. He's only doing a small amount of damage each time, 85 hit points, but he is very easily to penetrate us. There's the PP. One shot into the gun shield. He's out the game. And that's a Pascucci's medal. Now, the enemy's in trouble because they've only got 4 left. There's the Churchill. He's a little further away. Just the other side of the cap area. Okay. Oh, T-52 again. I said you've got to be careful with this guy because he'll just keep punching you full of holes. And 277, you can either ram kill him. You would die if you did. And oh dear, he did get killed by the T-52, but the T-52 got wiped out. If he'd actually rammed the T-52, I think both of them would have gone at the same time. But he was so low on hit points after that last shot that there was no way he was going to survive. But I think they've got the game, and they got it thanks to Wazwulf taking that very early position in the northwest corner of the map. Only the Churchill one left on the enemy team. He's about to get wiped out. Our T-52 is catching up with him. And he's gone, and that's it. They've got the victory. Here's the end of battle stats. That was another ace tanker game for Wazwulf, this time in the M18 Hellcat. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up getting 5, one short of getting a top gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. He also got a fire effect for doing more damage to the hit points of his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 6. Got a Pescucci's medal for killing 2 enemy SPGs in the game, and he also got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall, but sadly he did get shot and destroyed by that T-52. I did say they are dangerous, you've got to watch out for those ones. Win 8 in that game, 10,254, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, the highest damage in this one was 2,613 hit points of damage, and yet again, he's the only player to get over 2,000 hit points. And he was on the high side for 2,000 as well, approaching the 3,000 mark when he went down. He also, the second highest damage, I should say, was the other Hellcat on his team, 1,799, and the third highest damage was the KB2 on his team, 1,635. When it came to kills, he got the highest number of those with 5. 2 kills went to the Excelsior, the Cromwell B, and the Gorilla, his platoon mate in that game. And only one player on the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill, and that happened to be their Fifi, their 105 FH18B2. And he was the only player, yes, to get more than 1 kill. And when it came to base XP, he got that one as well. He's the only player to get over 1,000. He got 1,203. The next highest scorer being the other Hellcat with 748, and the third one being the Super Chaffee with 698. He fired only 17 rounds in this game. 12 of them are direct hits and 12 penetrations. Well, that 90mm gun, it's very good at penetrating the enemy. 2,613 hit points of damage, of which 991 were at more than 300 meters. He damaged 4 of the enemy. He spotted 4 of the enemy, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 5 of them, and did 863 hit points of spotting assist. Now, he did earn a profit off this game, 79,180 credits. He didn't use premium ammo all the time, and he did get a mission completion as well, which was for 50,000. So that really did help boost his profits. Otherwise, he only would have made 29,000 off the entire game. He got 9,022 XP as well, because he got a ×5 on this occasion. I think this game took place today. Yes, it is today. So it's a Tank Fest game, because there's a Tank Fest bonus on it, I think, at the moment for ×5. So very well done by Wazwulf. It's a pity you did die at the end, but as I did say, watch out those T-52s. They get you. The 57mm round is so easy to penetrate the enemy, and you just need to keep blasting away. And they fire so quickly that they can pump you full of holes. Before you know it, you're a sieve and out the game. So at least he did the biz, which was getting down to the northwest corner of the map so quickly in that 72 km/h speed. He got up there, and once he was up there, the enemy couldn't challenge that area, because anyone who tried to come near him was going to get penetrated, because they couldn't see where he was. He was in the tree line, using the bush mechanic. So really effective use of the ground, and that won the game for the team, I think. If you enjoyed both those replays, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.